Good morning, everyone. How you all doing today? I am sitting at my desk in my office downstairs and putting in all my plants and just kind of brushing it up a little bit on when I'm going to put things out because it's coming upon us fast. I'll show you this a little bit. I was reading up on nasturtium, and not only is it edible, but it helps keeps pests away in your garden, in your veggie garden and such. So I'll be planting some more of these. I already have the seeds in water and they are ready to be planted. I soaked them for basically overnight, and I think they're good to go now. I had to bring a lot of my ranunculus out from underneath the grow lights because one of them got dried out and flopped on me. This one is kind of floppy, but I'm giving it's watered good. I'll put them all out anyway. These are getting some real leaves on them. That's nice to see. But this isn't all of them. I just don't have the room for all of them on here unless I take the impatiens and the nasturtium out. But I needed all the tomatoes out here because I have heat mats underneath here for them. All the tomatoes are doing really well. Remember that little tiny one? The little tiny one? It's starting to get a couple more leaves on it, so it's gonna be just fine. Yes, all these are doing well. Yesterday, I was busy going through things, making boxes for garage sales that I've collected. Put them in a box where I could close it and tape it and put it in the shed. So I got a couple big boxes of stuff out there with the other stuff. And I'll probably be putting some of my tomato plants in that garage sale as well. I'm going to try to have it the 1st of March, weather permitting. Seemed like when I put a little fertilizer on it, that's when they started getting little fuzzy things on them. But I just keep it around. They don't hurt the seed. It doesn't hurt the seedlings. I just put and then I use the fan. The fan kind of helps. Lucy, I'm going to use the fan. Okay? Because they are on a heat mat, and that's part of the reason you're going to get... I know you like this chair. Mommy needs something better anyway. I need to put it up higher so it can reach everything on this table. But anyway, I'll do that later. Celery is doing good. Oh, and the potatoes that I cut back, I cut them down, and look, they're all growing. Even in the bucket over there, they grew back out, so they're going to be fine. I had cut them. I planted them the same way we plant them outside. Well, I didn't know that it was different in the buckets, and it may not be different. But I went through 4 or 5 growers of people planting their potatoes in buckets and bags, and they start at the very bottom, put the little piece of potato at the bottom, and then as it grows they cover it up, and they just keep doing that, keep covering it up every time it breaks ground again. So that first bag over there is one I did. These are the ones that I just cut back, and I stuck them clear down in the bottom, and so they should be okay. This one, I just put some potatoes in there. Oh yes, it's growing. It is growing, so I'm going to cover that up. There we go. Anyway, we'll have potatoes this year. And I'll put them out probably, well, I'm going with the waning moon, so I'll probably put them outside in April. I plan to have some onions in bags as well. And I'll put them all out with the waning moon in April. Usually I might do it in March when we plant them in the ground. You know, April. But since they've already come up, April 8th or 9th. I think I put it on my calendar, so it'll tell me when I'm supposed to put them out. Let's just check it. What did I say? Oh, the 7th. April 7th. I will put these bags out on one side of my garden and let them grow outside. And if it gets too rainy, if we get some torrential rains in April like we usually do, I will go out and I'll just cover them. I'll cover them from too much rain. But they should have good, they've got really good dirt in them where the water should just run right through. So hopefully, and let's see what going, oh, I'm doing laundry today. Monday is laundry day, so if you hear that, my dahlias that I pulled out of the box flopped. They're just not, they probably are not going to grow. I put them in there anyway. They were all wrinkled up, and some of them were mushy, and I threw them away. But some of them looked like they had a little bit of green on them after I soaked them. So I'm like, who cares? I'm just going to put them in and we'll see what happens. If anything sprouts, that's great. I left these roots. This is from the beautiful burgundy dahlia that I love. And it almost looks like it's getting a little green. But maybe it's just my eyes and the green. I don't know. I may just put them out in the garden and just see. I don't think they'll do anything, but I think they're probably dead. But who knows? You know, them are mushy. That's pretty hard, but they're just, and you know why? I had to tear up the garden so we could till it last fall, and otherwise you would leave them in there until they actually just die off, and then that's when you pull the bulbs up. I had to pull them up before they stopped blooming. They were still blooming beautiful. They had some buds on them and stuff, and they were still going crazy with beautiful blooms. But I had to dig them up, and maybe I should have just moved them to a different location. That would have been a good thought if I had thought of it. But with everything else going on, I just didn't think of it. But that's all right. I will have some really nice tubers coming in a couple weeks. I got some from Eden Brothers, and I have some coming from Michigan Bulb. So I'll have some to put in, and I may go back to Menards and see if they have that red burgundy one, because I love that. I love that one. It was so pretty, and I just I want to go ahead, probably get one of those if they have that variety. So, but we'll have plenty of dahlias. But everything looks like it's going great. I did get another light for here, and this one I'm going to replace. I don't like the red lights. I had the dahlia, or the ranunculus under here, and it, I don't know, it just made them kind of like they were getting burnt, or not really burnt, but dried out. See, this one's been sitting here the whole time under the white ones, and it's doing just fine. Of course, I've got it on a low 20%, And these will go out in March with the ranunculus. These can take a lot of cold weather and frost. I have plenty of blanket to cover them if I need to. Look how good the rhubarb is doing. Yay, I'm actually growing rhubarb. This is the only one that didn't come up. And I don't know why, but it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I forgot to put seeds in there. I don't think so, but maybe I did. Maybe I miscounted and didn't get seeds in there. I have onions. I have 64 onions here. And then I have like 30 here, I think. So I got about 90 onions for this year. And haven't sprouted yet, but they should. And I went ahead and planted this one with an aster. And my buddleia is coming up. And the rudbeckia. And I have one green twister. Now this one was, you had to scratch the seed off or soak it. And I didn't do that. I did scratch it with my thumbnail or with one of my nails, and I scratched them. But this one must have been the one that I did good. The others I probably didn't do so well. But this is the green twister. It's a pretty cool looking flower. My fire and ice pepper is coming up. I put this in here so that it could have a humid dome on it for the black pearl pepper. I hope it comes up. If not, I have more seeds. Even just a couple plants would make me happy. And then I did some that dark opal basil. It's purple, and this is very pretty around your gardens. And it smells really, it's supposed to smell really good too. Probably smells like basil. And I dyed parsley. Parsley is good for caterpillars, for monarchs. So I'll take these outside, the herbs, a little later. And when the weather gets a little better, I mean, it's beautiful out today. My lisianthus, it's doing okay. It seems like it just stays this size. This one came up really quick. And I hope it's all okay. We'll see if I get any lisianthus, but it's like May before you actually plant them out. They say once you plant them out, they go crazy. So I'm hoping that's true. And I hope these get a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger, you know. They should. I'm rooting for you, lisianthus. Come on. So, but this stuff has been, I keep thinking it's dry, a little on top, but I probably need to, I can water this from the top a little bit too, because this stuff doesn't attract gnats because of the woolly feel. But the ones in the dirt seem to do a lot better. So I'll probably next year when I plant them, I'll plant them in the dirt instead of the coconut coir. So, but oh, another one's popping up here. Look at that. That's crazy. Anyway, that's my story. That's about it. And this is the poor little dahlias that I let die. But I put them in there anyway. I'm like, why not? It doesn't hurt a thing to try. It's still early in the season. And if something sprouts from one of these, then that's a plus. Because I definitely did not do it the right way last year when I took everything out of the garden. But my nasturtium is ready to be planted, and it comes up really fast. So that will be good. I plan on, because it's a black velvet, and black looks really nice in front of our home. So it's going to be a very dark burgundy, almost black bloom. And I'm going to put that in front, and then I have I put two of my big containers, the half barrels. I put them up front, one on each side of the deck up front, and I think that'll be good. I'm going to plant dahlia or ranunculus. Got dahlia on the brain now. I'm going to plant the ranunculus in them, and these just get dry so quick, it seems like. And I think they're going to be just fine once I get them out in the dirt. But this being inside, I should have waited another month, but I wanted some early blooms too. So they will bloom quicker when you start them early. And then here's my other pack. I put them and I leave the lights on in here, so it has a little light. Not much light, but maybe enough to keep them happy until I get them out. So once they get outside, they'll be okay. I could almost guarantee that. Lucy, is you taking a nap? Kitties like to hang out down here with me. Anyway. Let's go check out. See these I had cut way back underneath the dirt, and they all came back up just fine. And I think they'll be better for it. And this one is the one that I planted down at the bottom. Did it the way the others did, and I'm going to have to bring some dirt in, and I'll finish taking it up clear up to here probably with dirt, because they're growing really good. Let's see. Okay. And potatoes, they're good in our basement for quite a while. But look how beautiful it is today. It's a little chilly this morning, but yesterday I was going around and I was finding some green coming up on my perennials. Waking up. They're waking up. Okay. I'm going to take a little break, and I will be right back. And isn't it just gorgeous outside? It is today. We are blessed to have this nice weather. Let's go see if we can find some green. I found some yesterday, and let's see how it's progressing. I wanted to, I checked my Sweet William dianthus that I love so much, and it is rooted in the ground, and as I pull the leaves, oak leaves back, there's some really nice plants that are going to be just fine. So they made it through the move, and then I'll do, I'm going to do the new dianthus, the other variety, kind of like this. Kind of curve it around it, and then I'll do another curve here with it, and then this is where the ranunculus will go, and then this is where we put up the fencing. We'll put up the fencing for tomatoes and dahlias and cosmos and the tall flowers that kind of flop and need a little help. And then this will be spinach, lettuce, green beans, Brussels sprouts, bell peppers, and the such there, and whatever else I decide to put in here. We don't do corn. It takes up a lot of room because you have to have more than 2 or 3 rows to really get a good crop. And we have a farmer, a local farmer, that every year they set up a stand and sell the peaches and cream corn for, I think it's like $5 a dozen. And I think they usually give you like a baker's dozen. So we don't bother with even trying to grow corn. We did it once, and it didn't turn out very well, and it takes up so much space that I'd rather grow like the lettuce and the radishes and the spinach and bell peppers and stuff that do really well in here. So anyway, some of these strawberries are looking pretty good. That's some chickweed. And they're green. There's some green ones, but the ones I have inside will come back out here. Probably, they'll probably be a little confused, but they'll come out probably, I'll put them out in April. Maybe, yeah, probably April. Because they didn't go dormant this winter, so they'll be a little confused. So I think we'll have strawberries. Oh, and I got a catalog from Gurney's a couple days ago, and I was looking through it, which is kind of dangerous for me sometimes. It's a little dangerous, but I've been very careful on what I choose. These cherry trees are this cherry tree, it's a Bing cherry, so it's a sweet cherry, and it does really well. But look how tall it is. And my husband and I definitely won't get up on a ladder high enough. So we let the birds kind of feed off of this. And the bees, when these pop out and bloom, the bees are just crazy here. We get so many bees, honeybees, because I think some of our local places, there's a winery down there. I don't know if they have bees, but there's a couple local farmers that have bees, and I think they all come here. Maybe not all of them, but a good portion of them come here because you can see them. They will feed from the bloom, and then they'll go back that way and come back, feed again, and go back that way. So we know where it basically is. We just don't know. We haven't pinpointed where the beehive is. But that's all right. There's a couple locals that make honey, and that's good. We like honey. This is our brush pile. Isn't it beautiful? And let's see. Oh, I was coming through here, and we have marigolds that grow along here sometimes, and sunflowers that grow through here. And I'll pick and choose what we keep and what we don't, because a lot of times they get so tall, and they're beautiful, but they shade the garden a lot. And so this portion can't get much sun, because this is right here. This is full sun come in the afternoon. That sun comes over and it shoots right for this. This stays shaded a little bit, so it's always good for like lettuce and spinach and stuff like that. And I do that in the spring, and I also do it in the fall. Last year I grew lettuce in the fall, and it turned out great. So, but I had this little tangle hummingbird bush, and I looked around it, and I seen some green growing. Let's see here. Yeah, some little green growing around it. So I hope that's the bush. I think it probably is, but I think it'll be all right. Remove some of these leaves so it can get a little sun. It helps protect it during the winter. There's some green at the base of that, and I'm hoping it's this. And I think it'll grow back anyway, but I just put it in last fall. And I have not much else in here. This may not grow back. I can't remember what this is. I think this is the oxyspermum, and I don't know if it will come back after winter. I don't know if you can do that with them, but I thought I'd put it in here anyway, and just see if it will go back. Yep, it is. I got the tag right here. Oxyspermum. Here we go. And we'll see what happens with it. I hope it does. It might. Okay, and then I hold my containers, and this is where the bags will go. The bags of onions and potatoes. They'll have good sun here once that sun comes back around for the summer sun. And let's see what else we have over here. I have some sedum in here, and I hope it comes back. It looks like I've got nothing, but there is some sedum in here somewhere. I thought I had a tag by it, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what this is, but I'll let it grow. It might be this. I don't know if that looks like sedum or not, but anyway, let's see. I have some hostas in here, and the primrose is green, and she's gonna be fine. And there's something here. Oh, that's a hosta. And I have a ostrich fern, a stilby, and there's a herkera, and then there's a, and I may cut these leaves back when it gets here and it's starting to grow. I don't know what that is. It's probably a vine that grows underneath. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's one of those that just goes and goes and goes. Then I have a bleeding heart that I hope comes back. So we'll see what comes back and what doesn't. And if I have to replace something, I will. But let's go around front. And this year I've been thinking about a shade, because this is shaded pretty much all the time. It might get a little bit of sun, but it's just one of those areas that just, so I'm going to be looking for shade garden stuff. And it's where we buried Trixie and some of her kittens that didn't make it, and so, one of Lucy's that didn't make it. They all, oh, we have some bulbs. Never know what you might find. So I'm going to look for something to kind of go along here. We put our garbage cans there, but maybe a little something that can spruce this up a little bit where it's not such an eyesore. Because it does say moist and stuff. I mean, almost all year I wouldn't have to hardly water it. And let's see. This is how I kind of have it planned out. The ranunculuses will go in here. I'll put like, I don't know, 10 in each one. And then the nasturtium will go in pots here, because I think it gets kind of long. I'm not sure. I've never grown nasturtium. I don't know how it acts, if it's more like a vine or what. But I'm going to put some nasturtium up here, and I think that'll be pretty. And then my pot, though, will go on that table. I put it out every year. It loves it outside. And then, let's see. I was looking around here. I got some dirt out of the containers, and I came and dumped it on here, because some of the bulbs were just completely out of the dirt. Like this one. This one was not covered up hardly at all. And so we've got some stuff growing. The allium, I got like 200 bulbs in here, and I'm not sure. I know I have allium, and I know I have tulips and narcissus and stuff like that. I put the mini hyacinths around the trees, and I did that in the backyard too. One of these days I'd like to get some real normal size ones, but there are a lot of bulbs in here. So I'm hoping we have a really good show this year for tulips and stuff. And the squirrels, I think, sometimes like to eat things. That's got a big old hole in it. I don't know what that is. Good grief. But I hope they do well. I put something special here behind the rose. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. But anyway, this is all filled, 200 bulbs in this garden and back around that container. I've got spring bulbs, 200. And that's quite a few for me, but that's all right. I want a beautiful show up here this spring, and hopefully we get it. This has like a pansy, and it looks like it was trying to grow back, but I don't know if it will. But I haven't decided what I'm going to put in here, but I'm going to find something really pretty to put in this container. And I think I might put something in there that will last all season. So maybe maybe petunias. I don't know for sure. I'll just have to see. And our grasses, and there's a Dusty Miller's. A friend of mine just 6 miles away, she keeps hers out all the time and it comes back fine. So we'll see what this does. If not, then I'll just take it out and put something else in. But I mean, it doesn't really seem like it's dead. I mean, it feels like it's got moisture in it and everything. You don't feel too, some of them a little crunchy, but we'll see what happens here. And my hydrangea, that doesn't get the sun it needs, but she does good bloom last year and it was pretty. And hopefully she'll do good this year and get bigger. So we'll see how she works. I may have to move her to a better place, but we'll just see how that goes. And I'll cut all my mums back once the wet, probably in April. I'll come out and I'll prune back all my mums. Any kind of dead growth on the Dusty Millers. I'll cut back. These are forsythias. Oh boy, when you let them go, they were clear almost to the top, almost to that vent up there. They were so huge, and they come clear out like 12 feet, and I told my husband, and he tried to get rid of them, and you just can't dig them out. It's like digging out a tree. But I said, well, let these two grow, and I'll keep an eye on them, and I'll make sure they don't get too crazy. And because they are pretty. They're pretty in the spring. It's one of the first things that bloom here. So, and then there's one under there, but I don't know how she'll do underneath the solar panels. She doesn't hardly get any sun or anything. I might try to dig it out and just leave this open, Here I'm thinking about putting, I have an elephant ear coming. It's a black elephant ear, and I was thinking about putting it right in here, and then maybe make this a little garden here, and put some flowers around it, I hope my hibiscus makes it. It's the first time I put her in the ground and see if she'll make it through the winter. I probably should have put some mulch or something around her. I did, I think, but sometimes it just gets pushed away. The ear gum is doing good. It's coming back, and I think that's it too there. I didn't know if I had to take the tubers in because they came as tubers, and when I pulled them up, I'm like, well, I'm going to leave part of it and in here to see, and look, it's all right here, so it's growing outward. That's cool. And I'm not sure really what it looks like. it has like purple leaves. And it just, I don't know if it has a bloom on it or not. Don't know. And then I have that red astantia here. In here somewhere underneath the chickweed. And I don't want to be pulling too much because I don't want to pull anything out. But I think it's right there. And then I thought I had another one up here somewhere. I just don't want to pull out. You know, you got to be careful. And the bugleweed, it'll come right back. And I'll cut the dead off of it and it'll go crazy. I was hoping that it would go over the rocks sometime soon. Oh, this is the other red astantia. I put both of them there. Okay. And then our lilac bush. The lilac bush is, let's see. Are you budding yet? Oh, yeah. It's got a couple buds up here. See? Yep. I wanted to cut it back, but I'm going to. After it blooms, I'm going to cut it back because it's just getting so leggy and there's nothing in there and let them other little things come up. I cut back so much out of it because it was just crazy. But see, they're putting on buds, new buds. Yeah. So they could help take over once this thing is so old. When my husband moved here, it grew, and he tried to get rid of it. I don't know why, but he just didn't want it there. And he tried, and it wouldn't die. So I've been taking parts of it that grow up around the side, and I give them to friends and stuff. I gave my sister-in-law a couple of them last year. They were growing really well. And she planted last fall, planted them. All right, and then this will have to be cut off. You could see she's growing new growth. So she'll spread out here. This is a chorospis, and I don't know if it will grow back, but I don't know what that is. But we'll see. I kind of just let things grow and see what they are before I actually cut them off or pull them, because there's some things that just get mixed in. And, oh, there's a nice earthworm. You better get in the dirt. Can you get in there, buddy? Go on. Yep, and that yarrow is still coming up here. I like yarrow, but our yarrow here, I need to get one that's not so obnoxious, is what I say. Because this stuff is so, it spreads so fast and just takes over everything. It will kill off your other plants. That's what happened in my garden one year. I had to pull everything. It was almost empty. I had yarrow in it, and I really liked it. I liked using it in arrangements and vases and with the other cut flowers. But then it got to where it was almost all yarrow, and that's it. So I went in. It was like midsummer, and I just pulled it all up. And my husband's like, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Because if I don't stop it now, it's going to kill all my other flowers." And it did kill some off. I didn't have near the flowers, you know, at all. I wonder if the lilies are starting to sprout or anything. They should be coming up soon. I hope they're going to be okay after the move. But the lilies all are through here. Right here, and I hope they come up okay. I think they will. If not, I'll have to ask my sister-in-law if I can have one back. So, or get a piece of hers. Anyway, that's about it. I've just been happy to see a little bit of growth of some things and buds on the cherry trees. I didn't finish my story about the cherry trees when I looked at Gurney's. When I looked at Gurney's, they have a bush cherry that gets, you know, about 8 foot tall maturity. And I'm like, I could put that back here behind the cherry tree, and then we could have cherries again. And they're supposed to be a sweet tart, which you want some. If you like making cherry pie, the tart ones are the best for pie. That should be coming soon. And then I got I got a pack of Burpee had some geranium seeds, so I may be sprouting some geraniums too. Geraniums are so pretty. So anyway, that's all I have today. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna put some nasturtium and some pots, seeds in the pots, and grow some more of that, because I'm going to put it all through the garden, the vegetable garden, just sporadically, kind of like on the sides and through the middle a little bit, and maybe put some back with the marigolds that grow, and this and that. So yeah, that way it kind of keeps the pests away. I don't know if it'll keep the Japanese beetles away, but I got my bags. I'll keep them handy, because they'll go up as soon as those things come back, because I'm sorry, but they're terrible. They will eat everything. So anyway, it was great to see you again, and I hope you enjoy this video. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Bye-bye.